Oh, hey YouTube. So today I went and ran some errands for my classroom. I needed to pick up a couple things, and then there were a few things that I just wanted to get. So a disclaimer before this video starts: if you are a new teacher, or maybe you are an experienced teacher and you don't want to spend money on your classroom, that is okay. It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. If you spend a ton on your classroom and make it a really special place that you want to share with your students, that's okay too. At the end of the day, what really matters whether your classroom is absolutely out of this world decorated, or if it's just exactly how it is when you walked into it, what matters are the relationships with your students. At the end of the day, in a beautiful, well-designed, expensive classroom, if you don't have relationships with your students, then it doesn't matter what it looks like. They won't enjoy being there. They won't feel appreciated, no matter how much work you put into that room. So with that being said, I did not spend a lot. Some of these are things that I have corded up over the last few months, and now I'm starting to get the final pieces for it. And some of it are things that I found really good deals on and wanted to grab for my classroom. So keep that in mind, and let's get into the vlog. Hey YouTube, so I'm doing some teachery things today, and I thought that I would bring you along with me. So I took my boys to school this morning. I'm about to grab some coffee right now. I have to run to my school district to drop off some papers from some things I did this summer, and then I'm gonna grab a few things for my classroom. Coffee is in hand. I think I can survive this day. It takes me about an hour to get to my district office, so I'm gonna be driving for a little bit, but as soon as I get that paperwork handed in, I will take you shopping with me. So let's do this. So I just got done dropping off some paperwork at the district office for the APSI that I went to over the summer. And now I'm gonna run to Michael's. I need to grab some of that thicker scrapbooking paper. So every year I've always used that, and I'll put it on my bulletin board, and then I hot glue clothespins onto my bulletin board, and then that's how I add work to the board and take it off so I don't mess up the work. But every year it always they get ripped, like the paper or the clothespins get pulled off, and it just leaves like the white streak in my scrapbooking paper. So it's not, I mean, it's an effective system. It lasts me for the whole school year, but I do have to replace it every year. I guess it gives me the opportunity to make changes. I also need to get some really big picture frames. Last year I ordered some print, and I never put them in my classroom because I never framed them. I need at least 6 big picture frames, but I don't want to spend a ton of money, so I'm gonna try to find some of those, and then just any little things that I see along the way I will grab. But as soon as I get to Michael's, we can see what they've got. Y'all, it is 106 degrees and it's only 11:50. Holy moly, welcome to the desert. It is so hot. Like, I'm probably a sweaty mess right now, but it's fine. I don't know if I'm gonna go anywhere else for anything. I think that's pretty much all I want to do. I'll take you in my classroom with me next week when I start setting it up. I refused to go to my classroom before the week before school started to do anything, so I'm gonna be doing that next week. I'm going to grab some lunch, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. When I get home, I'll show you some of the things I have for my classroom. Okay, so made it back home, got everything inside, and I'm gonna share some things with you. To start, I'm gonna talk about the posters that I got. I'm so excited. I've been using Crash Course with John Green since my first year in the classroom. Albeit when I was in middle school, there were a lot of times where I had to just show chunks, or I really had to click the speed and slow him down, or we paused it a lot, engaged with it a lot, which is something that I think is important anyway when using videos in the classroom, whether they're 3 minutes or 30 minutes. I think you need to have some kind of engagement where you're pausing and having discussions, or it's on Edpuzzle where it pauses and they have to reflect on what's happening. Otherwise, it's so easy for it to just go in one ear and out the other and not be purposeful. I have all 3. Oh, I forgot I ordered this one. I didn't get a picture frame for this guy. Oh well, that's okay. I have all of the World History 2, so like the more modern crash courses. I have all of these characters printed out, which I thought was so cool. And this one, they were not going to reprint. I think this was supposed to be the last print of this poster, and so I wanted to grab that, and I just realized I forgot that I got this one and I don't have any way to hang that one up, so that one might be on hold. And then the ones that I'm most excited about are the 3 World History posters where they're the map and it has all of the thought bubble people on there. So I got all 3 of these, and I'm going to be putting them into frames. These are not things that I recently purchased. I actually got these a long time ago, and they've been sitting in my closet because I didn't know what to do with them, because I don't have easy access to a laminator like I used to at my old school. Even when you laminate them, you're stapling them onto the wall, and these posters are so special. They're things that me and my students can reference and joke about. It's something that they'll recognize and connect to, and it's something that I love too. And so I didn't want to just put tons of staples in there. History Heals Teach, and I'll put her Instagram handle down in the description, showed that she went to Michael's and found some really affordable frames, and that she was going to frame hers. And I was like, oh, I should have thought of that. That's such a good idea. To credit her, I went and got frames from Michael's, which I'll show you in just a second. Now, the other posters that I got, and I got these also a long time ago. I got these 7 or 8 months ago, maybe more. The We the People poster set from Amplifier Art. And I've had these for a really long time. And again, now these aren't poster material, these are more paper, high quality paper, but still paper. So I definitely did not want to put staples into these. I've just been holding on to them until I got frames. And yeah, so I also got frames for these. I'm gonna hang up at least 6 of these in my classroom, and they're not gonna be taking up like all random places. The 3 will, each one is a set of 3, and they'll go side by side. I will take y'all in my classroom with me when I am putting those up. And these are the frames that I got from Michael's. So they are 18 by 24, and they're not super fancy frames. They feel plasticky and kind of cheap, but they were $20 a frame, and they were buy one get one free. I was able to get 6 really large frames for a very, very good price. Otherwise, I would not have bought them. That's why these posters have been sitting in my closet for so long. The other thing that I got from Michael's is this little chalkboard. It's white, but it's also kind of distressed slightly, and then the gold. This matches the things that I put in my classroom, and I thought it would be fun to put reminders or cool things on here every week, maybe even quotes. This was originally $30, and then it was 70% off, and then I also got a teacher discount. So I got that for very, very cheap, and I thought that would be a fun thing. The other thing I got at Michael's, which y'all saw me looking at in the vlog, was this pad of paper. Now, I get these every single year. I usually get them from Walmart, and I usually just get them in either patterns or solid colors. And I've been doing this also since my first year of teaching. It's something that I really like, and I find it to be a really cute way to hang up student work. So what I do is on my bulletin board, okay, disclaimer, I like very minimalist things. I'm not good, like you see some of the classrooms and they just have so much going on, are so creative, so cool, but my brain just doesn't work like that. I work in simplistic ways. I like to throw away things. I don't like clutter. Like my bookshelf is kind of driving me a little bit up the wall. I just don't like for things to have a lot. I just want to put something together that's simpler. So what I've been doing since my first year is I take this scrapbooking paper, because it's a little bit thicker. I staple it to my bulletin board, and then since it is thicker, I can hot glue clothespins to the squares, and then I just clip their work in those squares. And I've seen some other people do similar things. My first year teaching, it was just like solid white pieces. And then my second year teaching, I started to bring in a lot of the blues and the pinks and the grays and colors like that I still use in my classroom. And so I got some cool, colorful patterned ones. Last year I did just solid black because I had kind of a farmhouse, not like a lot of farmhouse, just like a slight one. I had one shiplap, the whitish gray shiplap bulletin board, and then I had a brown paper bulletin board, and I just used black for last year. But this year I was like, I want to bring in a little more color because my room is kind of sad. And so I grabbed this paper, and if you look at it, it just has like travel themed pictures. And so I thought, since I'm teaching AP Human Geography, it also kind of goes, oh my gosh, I love this one. But they look like the kind of pictures you would see on Instagram from somebody who travels and things like that. So I decided to use these this year to clip their work over. And when work is not clipped, while we're in between things, it still looks really nice. And anything left over, I will probably use to decorate a section of my classroom. If you don't need an entire pad of this, like you only want it for your board, you don't need 30 different pieces, you can just go through Michael's, and they have where you can get each individual piece for $1.99. But I just really like this, and I got it also on a discount. These are usually $23, I think, and I got it for $14. And I'll use this in multiple spaces in different ways throughout the school year. I think that is it from Michael's. I also ran to Target, and at Target I got 5 clocks. So this is kind of that mint color. These were $3 a piece. I got 3 mint colored ones, and then I got 3 white ones. And I'm gonna alternate these mint, white, above my board. And I'm gonna set them to 5 different cities' times. So there's 5 different time zones up there, which I thought would be cool for human geography. It's also cool for world history. But I saw this, so Building Book Love decorated her husband's social studies classroom, and it was very minimalist, masculine design. But above his board, she had white, and I think it was navy blue ones, or maybe they were black and navy blue. I can't remember. But she put them above his board, and I just thought that's such a easy, inexpensive way to decorate that space up there. So I'm gonna do that. I'll make some labels for the 5 different cities, since we will be jumping everywhere this year in both of my classes, and I just thought that would be a cool way for students to connect to people in other places. All right, and then I did not go to Walmart today. Y'all were not with me when I went to Walmart, but I went to Walmart the other day, and I grabbed just a few quick things that I'm going to show you. I grabbed 4 of these big giant pillows from Walmart the other day. They were $4 a piece, and they're really soft, fuzzy. I thought, you know, if they wanted to sit, they could lean on these pillows, they can sit on them. It just gives them some options when they're working. The other thing that I grabbed from Walmart are these table/stools. If you look, they can be used as a side table, or you can sit on them, and the weight limit is 228 pounds. And I did grab 3 of these. I think they were $12 maybe, which is a little bit of an investment. I don't do flexible seating. Everybody has a desk. I have my desk arranged in a certain way, but there are times when students are working on a group activity. The desk and the chairs that are attached can make it sometimes really hard for them to work in like a group of 3 or partners without me constantly having to move the desk. So they're always like, oh, Miss Marlowe, you moved the desk again. Like, I move the desk every 5 to 7 class periods because I teach in so many different ways. Sometimes it's partners, sometimes it's big groups, sometimes it's 2 teams, sometimes it's 4s or 6s or 9. It just it constantly changes. And so to try to help myself next year with having to constantly drag those desks around the room and then feeling like I'm always changing up the way things are, even though that can be good sometimes, I got these because they could sit in the floor like I'm sitting now. They could sit on one of these pillows. They could work, you know, just like this on their Chromebook in the floor. I like to sit like this sometimes, or they can sit on them and move them beside a group of desks that they're working with or things like that. Or they could sit somewhere in the room alone if they're having a day where they just need to be alone, and they can work on these. They're gray, they match. You know, I like the peaches, and this is a little bit brighter than what I really like. I like the mint color, but whatever, they were $4. And then the gray, the black, the white. So, you know, I guess my advice, if you are wanting to invest in your classroom a little bit, but you're not wanting to spend a lot, is find pieces that go together. And so you have kind of a common thing running throughout your classroom if you're not gonna spend a lot, because it'll make it look like you put a lot more effort and money in than maybe you really did. If your bulletin board and your few little pieces of extra all kind of match, it's gonna look like you had a plan and that you really put effort into it without spending a fortune, because that is not necessary. I also grabbed just this plain white, or it wasn't white when I bought it, this plain stool. So the Townie teacher over on Instagram, I'll also leave her handle down below. She, I guess last year and then again this year, got a regular stool from Walmart, spray painted it, and then on this top part she picked book covers of books that she likes and then Mod Podged over it to kind of seal it. And I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I used to have a teacher stool when I was in South Carolina in my middle school classroom, because somebody left it in that classroom when they moved out, and I was like, oh, what is this for? I don't need this. And then I found myself using it all the time. And when I moved, because I don't like to take a bunch of stuff with me, I did not bring it with me. I left it there for the next person who got my room. So last year I really missed it, because you can just grab these, move them, sit in different places around the room. I never sit at my desk. I'm usually up at my standing desk or moving around the room. So it's nice to have something like this where you can just grab it and move. And if I'm teaching or we're having a discussion, it's easy for me to move it around. I was going to do what she did and put some things on there, and I had all of these ideas. I looked at watercolor world maps, I looked at book covers, I looked at things related to history, quotes, a monogram, all kinds of things. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it went with my classroom. And what I decided to do is I went on Amazon and I ordered white marbled contact paper that you can just peel on and off, that's meant for like a table, and I'm going to put that on top of here. So it is white, just like the stool, but then it has gray veins in the design, and I'm just gonna put that on there. And I'm also gonna put that contact paper on my desk and on the little standing desk that I have. I believe it was Smarty Style who I got the idea from the white marble paper from. I'm not positive on that. I will link her YouTube account and her Instagram handle down below, because I believe it was her that I got that idea from. And then the last thing that I got is this rug. It's 54 by 72. It's a pretty big rug. It's not a pretty rug though, and it's not, it's soft, but it's not like a very fancy rug. I got this for $17 at Walmart. So now with this, I can put those 3 little table/stools, the little pillows, this rug, and when we are working independently, when they're working on essays and they're working with a partner, and I let them move around the room, I'll have more options. So I think this will be really great. That is pretty much it for my classroom haul. The things that I ordered off Amazon that are not here yet, that I'm hoping will be here tomorrow, I ordered gray bulletin board paper. Last year I had the whitewashed shiplap from the Better Than Paper company. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I had that last year, and I love the shiplap look, but I'm kind of bored with it because so many people have it now. It still looks amazing. I just didn't want to do that again this year. So I just went with a solid gray, because that had a gray tone to it. I have so many grays and whites in my classroom that I thought gray would be easy. I got a very plain white border, so I do have that coming. And I got a few of the really cheap baby shower decorations off of Amazon that are these colors, match some that I already had, and so I'll be using those. and that's pretty much it. I tried to get some pieces this year that I will pack up and take with me to my next school. Pieces that are easy to use, they can work in any space, they're affordable. I wanted to really invest in a few good pieces that I can use no matter where I'm teaching or what grade level. So I hope that you enjoyed this and maybe you got some ideas. I'll link some stuff down below for you if I can find the links online. And that's it for today. So next time I see you, I will probably be actually setting up my classroom. So check back for that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.